to another edition of Eastern Express. My name is J.T. Keith, and I'm here with the University President, Dr. Stephen A. Gamble. Thank you for being here, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, tell us a little bit about what we have coming up as far as a football stadium.
Well, we're attempting to move out of Blackwater Draw and move into a new stadium on campus. We are putting to a vote of the students from the 2nd to the 4th of October a vote on an issue as to whether or not they want to pay $40 more a semester or $10 more a month is how it works out to build a new stadium on campus. That would pay for half of the stadium.
Okay. And then how did that come about, Dr. Gamble?
Well, we came to the realization that Blackwater Draw just wasn't meeting our needs anymore. It's old, it's worn out. We need to put a lot of money into it if we're going to stay. And rather than put a lot of money into a stadium that still would be, just to be honest with you, second class, we'd rather look at building a new one on campus. It's going to be first class. Not extravagant, but it's going to be first class.
And then the new stadium is going to feature, it's like $8 million and going to feature the same seating attendance of 4,000 or 7,000?
Yeah, it'll be between 4,000 and 5,000, but we'll be able to host track meets there. We'll be able to do intermurals there. The band will be able to practice on the same field in which it's going to perform. Okay. And of course, we'll play at least 5 home games in football there, and the Portales Rams will as well.
Okay. And then who's going to be doing the accounting and to make sure everything is going right as far as where the vote will be held and who's going to be taking the ballots and everything?
Well, it's going to be online, and the student government's running it.
Okay.
I mean, one of the first things we did is when the Board of Regents said we're just not going to lay this on the students, just automatically charge them. We want to know if they want to do this.
Okay.
From that point on, we turned it over to student government, and student government has said they want to do it online. It's going to be full-time students that can vote. There's over 3,000 full-time students.
Okay.
And on the close of voting on the 4th, we'll count up the ballots and see if it passed or didn't pass.
Okay, and then if it doesn't pass, what happens?
It's dead. I mean, that's it. We put more money into Blackwater Draw, and we limp along with Blackwater Draw.
Now, when you say more money, is that going to be like for a total reconstruction of the?
Oh, no, that's probably about $1.5 million is what I'd guess, and $1 million of that will go for artificial turf. We're having difficulty even getting water to the turf there at Blackwater Draw. We need to do something with the restrooms. We need to do something with the locker rooms.
Sure.
It was a good stadium in its time, but its time has passed. That's why we say the time is now. The time is now to move into a new stadium on campus.
Okay, and then as a new stadium, we talked before about logistics as far as parking. How do we do that when that passes, if that passes?
Well, the parking will be twofold. One is we'll have the same parking that we have for Greyhound Arena right now.
Okay.
And we graduate 5,000 students. I'm sorry, we have 5,000 people in attendance for graduation, and we're able to handle the parking for that. If we get 5,000 for a football game, it'll be about the same number of cars. But we'll also have some grass parking around the stadium.
Okay.
But we will depend heavily on Greyhound Arena parking.
Now, the financing I read where some of that's going to be coming from Portales, where we're going to ask for $1 million for Portales.
Well, we're going to ask for $1 million, and we have asked for $1 million if it passes. But I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that. They want to do that. They want to participate. But sometimes you just can't spend what you don't have.
Sure.
So we're waiting to see. If they can't come up with $1 million, what we will do is we will charge them to play there.
Okay.
And but we're not going to leave them out in the cold.
Now, what about state football games? Are we going to be able to do that to host?
Well, we hope. We'll sure advertise the fact that we're available.
Okay.
And we'll also be able to host track meets now. Right now we don't have a regulation track, so
Right.
we had to pass on the opportunity of having the Lone Star Conference meet. I mean, that would have been, I won't guess the amount. I'll guess 700-800 people that would have come here to this part of the world to spend their money and to buy their gas, to stay overnight, to eat their meals here for a major track meet that we just had to say, I'm sorry, we can't host it.
Now, sir, how about the Chamber of Commerce and Portales? How big of a windfall would this be for them financially?
I couldn't put a dollar amount to it, but it'd be significant. In fact, they have voted unanimously to support the construction of a new stadium.
Really?
As has the Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Commission, the City Council. Those people have all rallied behind this project.
Wow. So that's going to be a big, as far as tourists and dollars, that's going to help the
Oh,
town and the campus as well.
it helps everyone.
Do you know where the stadium's going to be at?
Probably it's going to be right next to the baseball field, right across
Okay.
from Greyhound Arena. There's a chance that somebody that's a site development person might point out some reasons why it needs to be somewhere else, but I think there's probably 90% chance that's where it's going to be.
And then when it passes, or if it passes, when will they break ground, and when will the fees start?
Well, it depends on how long it takes the foundation to raise between $2 and $3 million.
Okay.
The state requires us to have the $8 million in hand before we can go forward. The new fee would start possibly not this coming fall, more probably in January of 2015.
Okay. And then what do you say to some people, sir, that say that that's 25 years that they're going to be paying at 5%?
It'll be 30.
30 years.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Because last we talked, it was 25, but you're saying it's going to be 30
yeah,
now.
that's been our planning. Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to pay 30.
Yeah, it's like buying a house. It's like a mortgage on the house that you're building. No, absolutely no difference in the concept. But hopefully we won't have.
At 5%?
No. Oh, we don't know the percent that
Okay.
it'll be, but we do know the dollar amount it'll be.
8 million.
Yeah, the total dollar amount will be 8 million, whatever it takes to pay that off. But the students themselves, they're there 4 or 5 years. That's how long they'll pay. Then there will be another generation to pick it up and carry out the payments until it's paid off.
Okay.
That's how you buy a whole lot of things in life.
Yes, sir.
Is on time.
Yes,
so
sir.
to
On
speak.
credit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens to the old stadium
Well,
and the land?
well, we own the land, but we'll tear down the old stadium. We're not going to leave it there as an eyesore.
Okay. And then will we sell the land, or will we do
No,
something
no,
else with
it's very difficult to sell state land. Probably if somebody comes up with a good economic development reason to purchase that, they would be purchasing it basically from the state of New Mexico
Okay.
because it's state land.
That's state land.
Yes, sir.
So then just the stadium we're just going to tear down then.
Yes, we will. Maybe not immediately. It might take us a year or two to get around to it. But it'll serve no good function just leaving it there as a derelict facility.
Sure, sure. And then can you tell me about the state of athletics that you see since you've been here? Because we've had a lot of changes in coaches, and especially in the last year.
Well, we have, and our goal is always to hire good coaches and give them a reason to stay. We support them as best we can. The biggest obstacle we have is playing those Texas teams.
Yes, sir.
That their budgets are quite a bit more than ours. The size of their institutions sometimes are more than double ours, triple ours even. And so we can compete with them, but we've really got to go the extra mile, out hustle them, out recruit them,
Sure.
and probably work harder than they do. But I don't doubt we can do it.
Okay. And then can you tell me a little bit where we stand as far as the NCAA violations?
I'll tell you what I know, which is the same thing I knew about a year ago this time, is that we're continuing to give them the information they ask for. The end, if it's in sight, I couldn't tell you when it is.
Okay.
We are, I think, undoubtedly going to end up forfeiting about 4 years of victories. Maybe not all of them, but the great majority of the victories over the last 4 years. And we deserve to. I mean, when you play illegal people, what you do is you forfeit.
Sure.
If teams had played illegal people against, when they played us, we expect them to forfeit.
Right.
And that's what we're going to do. We're optimistic that that's the only penalty we'll have to give.
Okay.
We have self-reported everything. It's not like somebody found us cheating or found out something bad about our program. We are the ones who discovered it. Everything the NCAA knows, it knows because we told them.
Okay.
And because of that, we anticipate no postseason bans. We don't anticipate a reduction in scholarships. None of this is firm now, but we've been it's been discussed with our contact at the NCAA, and she has said that that's a reasonable assumption, but she's not the one that'll make the final determination.
And then can you tell me why this is taking, because this is almost like a 2-year ongoing thing.
You have to ask the NCAA. I wish we could have got it over in the first week.
Okay.
Because it's drawn on, it takes a lot of emotional energy out of you, and a lot of time to do it. But,
yes, sir.
But they've had us go back beyond 4 years in our records to make sure that everybody we had at those points were eligible to play. and that just takes a whole lot of work and effort by good people. And we've hired some really good people on the eligibility and compliance side.
Okay. So now, are we going to have to forfeit our LCS cross-country championships, our baseball from last year, some of that?
I feel certain we'll, any championships we earned in which we played illegal players, I would imagine we'd give up the championships.
Okay. And then how are we making any adjustments to make sure? Because I know that you said it when I talked to you before about modeling after West Texas A&M, but
well,
then
they've helped us a lot, and we're modeling it after best practices.
Okay.
In other words, ways that it's learned, the way it's been successful at other institutions. One of the things we've done is simply supply more manpower. We've hired a new position solely to handle compliance. In the registrar's office, we have an assistant registrar that one of her major tasks is the verification of the records of the students.
Okay.
So we ought to be okay from here on out. Now, I mean, you wait and see, but
Sure.
but we believe we know what we're doing now, and we believe we've got the right people in place, and we believe that this shouldn't recur.
Now, how about the scholarships? Are you going to make those right for the people that are still ineligible but are still in school, or how does that work?
Well, it depends on the individual circumstances.
Okay.
But there's a lot of, for lack of a better term, blame to go around. I
Sure.
mean, there's some obviously on the administration, including me, for not making sure we had a better process. But we have students that very simply didn't pass 24 hours, and were declared ineligible.
Now, does this go back? Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, no, pardon me. Go ahead, JT.
Does this go back on the old compliance guide and plus the athletic director, or is this just strictly?
Well, I'll tell you, the only person left at the school that really is deserving of scrutiny on this is me. I mean, it honestly is. The others, people that have been involved in this, are no longer at the institution. But it all happened when I was here. We've had some people that were involved in it that have come to the university, but not since we've discovered the problems that we have.
Sure.
In
So
other words, the problems existed when they arrived.
okay. So the athletic director, this goes way back when we were talking.
Oh,
you
it goes back before Dr. Geyser. If
Okay,
what you mean.
that's- yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But he's like I am. He wishes he would have asked the right questions once he got here. I regret that I didn't ask the right questions.
Sure. So you're giving him a vote of confidence going
Oh,
forward?
absolutely.
So he'll be here like next year and ongoing?
Well, that's kind of up to him, but he does a very, very good job as athletic director. We're fortunate to have him.
Okay. And then any other things that you're thinking about as far as the Golden Library? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, just that our next major building at the institution will be a complete renovation of Golden Library.
Okay.
$26 million. Again, as always, it's the money. How do you get the money for it? And we do have a plan.
Okay.
Later actually in October, we ought to start on the $13 million renovation of JWLA.
Okay.
And
So
so that's the next immediate, but the next one that's planned is the Golden Library.
Okay.
That will actually be the last major facility that needs extensive renovation.
Okay. And then there's been rumors, sir, that you're planning on hanging it up in the next couple of years. Is there any truth to that, or?
Who knows? It's not up to me. It's up to whether the faculty can stand me for a couple more years, or whether the board wants me,
Sure.
and also whether I want to stay.
Okay.
But I'm 67, and I'm not going to be here forever. But
Sure.
I will say this: in the next, say, 2 years, I don't have any plans to retire.
Okay. So you plan on being here for the next 2 years?
Yeah, I'd say probably if again people want me to stay.
Sure. And then can you tell me, when you first came here to now, how do you think that things have changed as far as what you implemented coming in your vision as far as?
Oh, I'm no good at talking about what I've done, but I will say this, that when I got here, and this 12 years ago, this was a good school.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, academically, I'm not sure that we're much better, if any, than when I got here. I'm talking about academics.
Okay.
And that's not that we haven't worked hard to do it, but to improve it. It's just that it was a strong academic school when I got here.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
we've increased the enrollment and taken care of some buildings and some things like that. But our goal is just simply, our mission is to provide the best educational experience we can to the students that come to us. We've done that for decades. I think we're continuing that theme right now.
Okay. Well, Dr. Gamble, thank you for being
Yes,
my
sir.
guest.
Thank you, Jason.
And this will be another edition of Eastern Express. Thank you.